before going on Fox News to have a conversation about the FBI search on Mar-A-Lago and how, these police, I mean, they ought to have some transparency, the FBI and all that stuff. And, there was just no reason for them to even come to Mar-A-Lago. Well, Eric Trump got a little too transparent when he decided to post a selfie containing a network username and password that he was using in order to broadcast. Oh, well, would you look at that? Wi-Fi network. Yeah, okay. And great password, by the way. What top-notch password. Well done. Very, very stable. Genius. Very, very concerned about network security. The most secure. Ain't nobody breaking into that. Okay, so now here's the thing. So on Friday, I remember showing you Giuliani making this ridiculous argument as to why keeping the 11 sets of classified information, documentation that the FBI had taken from Mar-a-Lago that were top secret and contained nuclear secrets was totally fine. In fact, you know what? Very, very secure place. Just as secure as keeping it in the government's possession. Here's that video.
And now they want to make them responsible for having taken classified documents and preserved them. Really, if you look at the Espionage Act, it's not really about taking the documents. It's about destroying them or hiding them or giving them to the enemy.
Right.
It's not about taking them and putting them in a place that's roughly as safe as they were in the first place.
Roughly as safe as they were in the first place, sitting in a random supply closet on Mar-a-Lago. Secure. Very, very secure. Look, let me ask you, even if you're the most diehard MAGA supporter and, you're sitting there screaming or typing out Trump 2024, right? With, I don't know, wearing the red hat, maybe with a couple of beer cans on your head. There's nothing wrong with that. And, you're getting redder and redder as the time goes by. Veins are starting to bulge out of your chest as you're typing. But let me ask you, do you really believe that the documents were safer sitting at Mar-a-Lago than they were, for example, in the National Archives or in government custody? Do you actually believe that? Do you really believe that? I don't think you do. I don't think you do. And look, again, especially since Eric and apparently others don't know enough to avoid randomly giving out Wi-Fi passwords to potentially millions of people, millions of viewers, including, I don't know, maybe you think China wasn't watching? Maybe they were. Maybe they were. And this isn't the only example, of course. Look, if you were angry at Hillary Clinton, and I remember I criticized her as well for doing that whole, home private server, well, then you should be just as mad at Trump. Again, historians, national security analysts, government watchdogs said that Trump himself had seemed oblivious, if not dismissive, when it came to security, to network security. For example, on his second presidential weekend trip to Mar-a-Lago, Trump hosted former Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe, who was recently assassinated, and talk about an insane story, but he was there for a summit. When news broke of a provocative North Korea missile test, Trump and Abe, who were dining together at a Mar-a-Lago hall, huddled in situation room style to fashion a response, as club members and guests were just able to sit there and watch. Oh, great. Great. Yeah, security, the best security, the greatest security. Nobody's going to get into that. Nobody is going to figure out what the U.S. response is. Even though it's right out in the open, anybody could watch it. Speaking of anybody watching it, do you guys remember when a Chinese woman, a Yuzhen Zhang, had tried to enter Mar-a-Lago? Now, there's nothing wrong with Chinese people entering Mar-a-Lago or anywhere else. It just so happens that she was carrying 4 cell phones, a laptop, an external hard drive, and in her room, At the Colony Hotel on Palm Beach, they found USB drives, SIM cards, and a device that is able to connect, to detect hidden cameras. Gee, I wonder what she was up to. Not sure. Not sure. Another person, college freshman Mark Lindblom. On the day after Thanksgiving in 2018, Lindblom decided to, dress up in a blue suit and basically trick Secret Service agents into talking his way into Mar-A-Lago simply to see how far he could get. Lindblom accessed Trump's property by walking through a tunnel under State Road A1A that connects Mar-A-Lago to the beach club facility. He stood there with other members and was wanted by agents and allowed into the property. Lindblom then took photos as he wandered around for about 20 minutes before being caught and arrested. Hey, but we have the best security, right? The greatest security. Tremendous. In January 2020, an SUV driven by a Connecticut woman went through 2 different security barricades by Mar-A-Lago and prompted gunfire from Secret Service agents in Palm Beach County Sheriff's deputies. No one was injured. A judge later found the driver, Hannah Rumhild, an opera singer, not guilty of multiple charges by reason of insanity. So look, these examples show that it's pretty easy to get into Mar-A-Lago. I mean, you lie about it, go in, you trick the Secret Service. Remember, Secret Service is not in charge of vetting guests to Mar-A-Lago. So when you have a hotel/resort, you're not supposed to hold presidential meetings and functions there, much less top secret documents. But that's what they did. And again, imagine if there was somebody in there who knew what they were doing. Hell, maybe that's already happened. Maybe you already had a spy go into Mar-A-Lago. Why wouldn't they? If you're a good spy, then you could get in there, get information, whatever you want, and get the hell out without anybody even noticing. Who says that didn't happen? We can't say one way or the other. But see, the reason that they did it this way is because Donald Trump didn't care. Donald Trump wanted to, pat his pockets. Look, even John Kelly. John Kelly's like, look, this is a security nightmare. This is really dumb. It's really, really easy to get into Mar-A-Lago because it's not a secure place. When he brought those warnings to Trump, Trump said, I don't care. I don't give a damn. He didn't want to stop paying members from being able to pay. Again, that's the whole purpose of being at Mar-A-Lago as president. To have, and remember, he basically made membership even more expensive as soon as he became president. Why was that? Oh, right. So he could make more money and stuff it into his pocket. Hey, so what if rando people see the nuclear football? Don't care. I just want to get paid. It's all about the money. The guy is too dumb and too greedy for words, man. Now, the best part, or I should say the most interesting part, and again, my speculation, his stupidity might have actually worked out in his favor, weirdly enough. And again, remember, there's only one reason why I think you would take those documents from the White House and bring them to your personal residence. Highly classified documents. One reason, you want to sell them. That's it, you want to sell them. And now, of course, by being so careless with your security that any random person can come in, you make it that much easier for a spy who knows what they're doing to come in and steal them. Which also means that we don't have any evidence or any proof that Donald Trump, even though I think he was definitely going to try to sell them, he wasn't able to. And so imagine that, right? Them getting our nuclear secrets, even though Donald Trump may have intended to sell them, and we don't have any evidence of it, but it seems very, very plausible. But his stupidity, him being so goddamn stupid and careless with his own security, rendered the things that he wanted to sell. Well, hey, look, if somebody got in and already took copies of those, well, then he's not going to be able to sell them because they already have the information. Amazing. Amazing. Again, that's probably why, or maybe why we won't find any proof that Donald Trump had sold any parts of the documents to other countries. Because, again, who would buy them? Who's to say? Pure speculation on my part, but only Trump knows for sure. And sure, maybe, other members of the family that have, that may have the video footage. But I tell you one thing on the video, he ain't willing to share. But again, this situation is a perfect example of how the Trump family is either too stupid to protect themselves or this information, or they just don't give a damn. Either way, really stupid.